we're going to take this single fence picket and we're going to turn it into this incredible little birdhouse that I know you can build yourself. All right, starting with my favorite material to use, just a 5.5-inch wide fence picket. We're not even going to use the whole thing. Heck, you could probably make 2 of these out of just one fence picket. But here's your beginning cut list, okay? You're going to give me one 7-inch long cut, a 6.5-inch long cut, a 5-inch cut, 2 8-inch cuts, and then you're going to rip down a number of 1.5 wide with a 10-degree bevel on one side, and you're going to give me about a dozen that are cut down to 3.5 inches long. Now, with the remaining strip that you have left over, this is what I want you to do. I want you to give me 1.5 cut with a 10-degree angle just on one side, and this is going to help us make these curved edges kind of just nice and smooth, and just does it easily. So just rip this down. You can use a few things, right? I like to use my bandsaw, super easy. You can use your table saw if you want. You can even use just a regular hand circular saw, right? Just put some sort of a guide on one side of it to give you a nice smooth cut. And all you need is one side of 10 degrees. So go ahead and give yourself probably 2 cuts if you're following this exactly. Give me 2 of these ripped down with 10 degrees just on one side. All right, there you go. So you should have a 10-degree edge on one side, flat on the other, and then all I want you to do is give me about a dozen that are 3.5 inches long. All right, so here's how it's going to go. We've got the front and back pieces. These are the 8-inch ones, okay? We're going to draw the curves out there. I'll show you how I do it. We've got our base, this is the 5-inch one. It's just going to go on the bottom of it. This one's going to be easy. I'm not going to put a fancy door on the back. I'm just going to put screws on the underside of it. Make it easy. These two, the 6.5-inch and 7-inch ones, these are going to make our roof, okay? And they're 1/2 inch off, so that way they can overlap, make it easy, no crazy miter cuts up top. And we're going to do something fun with these, actually. We're going to put shingles on them. Totally optional step, but I love doing it because it looks cool. And then we have our 12 small 3.5-inch by 1.5 roughly with a 10-degree bevel. Don't get caught up on, oh, is it exactly 1.5 inches up top versus the bottom, whatever, because I'm going to show you how we can make this right. So mine, if you see here, is a little bit over 1.5 inches. It's more like 1 5/8 on the long side, and it's more like 1 3/8 on the short side. It's fine. Totally fine. I'm going to show you how we make it fit the birdhouse correctly, real easily. Okay, so starting with the front and the back, the first thing we need to do is we need to get a 45-degree cut in the peak of this. That's where our roof is eventually going to sit. So what I want you to do, mark the top center of the board, then in your chop saw or whatever you're using, table saw, we can get this down to make the peak. Now when making this cut, to make it easy, I've got my center point here, which should be about 2 3/4, and I'm going to be cutting it here, right? My saw is set to 45 degrees, and so it's set this way so we can use this as a stop. I put both pieces together so that way they make the exact same cut. And then you can just flip it over to make it easy. There you go. And if you want to check to make sure that your cut is right, what you can do is you can measure from the bottom to where the angle starts. Make sure it's right on both ends. These are not super easy cuts to do, so don't get frustrated. This is why I love fence pickets, because this, if you screw up this cut, it maybe cost you $1, right? It wasn't a $20 mistake. Now again, to make these curves, again, I have my press board that I just ripped down into 3/8 inch long, hole in the top with a string, slit at the bottom, and you pull it through, and it makes these nice curves. Or you can use a paint can. You can use something with a big curve to it, place it, and make it look how you want it to look. So now with this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark in 1 1/4 inch from both sides on the bottom here. And this is going to be the bottom. And then all I'm going to do is take my bow, and I'm going to line it up to this corner where the roof peak starts. And that's what's going to make up the curve. And so, there's not an exact science. I'm sure it could be. But just find what you think is a good looking curve. And then make sure you hold the bow in the same spot. Turn it over. And make your mark on the other side. And there's going to be our curves. And then here, again, you can use jigsaw. You can use a handsaw. I'm going to use my bandsaw because that makes short work of it. And on these, you can either hot glue them together, or you can just put in a quick brad nail, a couple of them, just to make sure that nothing jumps or skips on you on the saw, and that you get the exact same cut for the front and the back. And at this point, I'm going to give everything a quick sanding because it just helps getting in all those little nooks and crannies. There is no need to do the roof, though, and you're going to see why, because we're about to put shingles on it. But I'm going to give it a quick sand. On the front and back, I would suggest not sanding the insides, okay? That's so little birdie's feet can attach to the rough surface. And if you're using a smooth surface, maple or oak, or you're getting fancy and getting all posh with making birdhouses, make sure you score the inside of the birdhouse so that way they can actually climb up. Birds don't climb flat surfaces. And for what I use for sanding, I got a belt sander, but man, this just makes quick work of it. Cedar is so soft. I use 80 grit generally. You can also use 120. All right, now before starting to put it together, we need a hole in the front of the birdhouse. So you can check in the description below, and I'll have a sheet for you on the different size holes that you need to make for different size birds. The ones I use most commonly is 1.25 inch. Inch is also really common. Chickadees, wrens, like between inch and 1.25. Look for your state and what the birds want for different size holes. Now, I will say this is on the smaller side of a birdhouse, so it's not going to be for blue jays or anything like that. And as far as placement of your hole, 4.5 inches or so up from the bottom and centered is usually about the sweet spot for most birds and what they like. All right, so next we're going to get the walls on, and this is where these little pieces come into play. So how you need to line this up is, let's take our back piece here, is I'm just going to take a few of these and kind of put flat edge to beveled edge all the way up. Okay. Okay. So that way I have something that looks like this. Okay. Got flat edge, beveled edge, flat edge, beveled edge. Just all the way to make a nice little curve. Now, on the placement on the birdhouse here is what you're going to see is that, there's actually a little bit of an overhang. If we line up that bottom piece, then line up everything else, we overhang here by maybe, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch. So all I'm going to do is mark that, and then I'm going to assume it's the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to take two of these, and I'm going to take about 3/8 of an inch off just real quickly on my bandsaw. Yay. It lines up pretty perfectly. You can also just sand that extra part down if it's not too much. And the reason why I don't have exact measurements this whole way, which is going to frustrate some of you, I get that. It's because this is really soft wood, and you're better off going than trying to plan yourself to death and, just getting lost in the details. Start, make adjustments, keep on going. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start assembling these. Now, it's super important. Make sure you transfer the whole thing over because it'll never line up the same way twice. For this, yes, I have Titebond 3 glue, for those of you wondering. And when you line these up, okay, it is important that you line them up with a tiny bit of overhang on this outside. Why? because we can sand that off easier than we can this part of it. But line it up close, and if you have to verge on letting it hang over one side or another, have it hang out to the outside of the birdhouse, and we can just sand that down. So when I did this side, what you can see is once I started really fastening them together, it was almost too much of a curve. But that little eighth of an inch or so, we're just going to be able to sand off here. So don't worry about it. And then we're just going to do the same thing for the other side. All right, once that's in, then we're just going to put our front on here. And again, you're going to have to manipulate these a little bit and kind of squeeze them together and line them up as good as you can. Now before getting on to putting on the bottom here or the roof, I'm going to give these sides a quick sanding and even out all these edges. This side ended up being a little bit strong, right? And so we're going to sand that all down, make it nice and smooth. There you go, all smoothed out, looking nice. And then what I did too is I kind of rounded off these edges a little bit now because it's just easier to get to than after it's all assembled. All right, now for the bottom. So I decided to take another inch off of our bottom piece just because it made it look a little bit more right. 5 inches wide was just a little bit too wide. So again, you go and you adjust and you keep on going. So then with this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 screws in the bottom here, and you can either on the back side have it overhang a little bit, or you can do it as a flush mount. It depends on how you want to hang this, right? I like mine coming from chains, so I'm fine with having about a 1/2 inch overhang on the back. Then that should give you about a 3 inch overhang on the front. So you just need to measure it out. And then, of course, if you really want to get it dead on, you can mark the center of your base, mark the center of the birdhouse, line those up to make sure that your bottom plate goes on exactly in the center. So now we get to put the roof on, like so. This roof is super long on there, so you can either just attach it like it is, and you're totally fine, sand it down, and attach it on, and poof, voila, you're done. I like to make shingles out of these. So what I'm going to do on the ends here with my bandsaw, jigsaw, scroll saw, is I'm actually just going to make a loose, wavy line, okay? Nothing too crazy, right? It's just free-formed, right? And you're going to see why in a minute. I'm going to do that on the bottom side of both of these boards, okay? I'm going to cut it out with my bandsaw. So now I have these wavy edges on the outside, and I'm actually going to attach the roof here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the short piece, just going to eyeball it, and I'm going to line it up with this edge here. Okay, and I'm just going to eyeball the overhang over the back, right, and over the front, and then we'll just line up the other piece. So then I'm going to glue it down, I'm going to brad nail it down. One side on, and then I'm just going to take the other side. I'm going to line it up to the peak there, glue it, brad nail it, and just make sure it's lined up with the other side. There we go. Your roof is on. Now, what I like to do here is I like to just draw real loose, wavy lines, and you can make these as tight or as spaced out as you want. Okay, I'm going to do that on both sides here. And these lines won't mean much in a few minutes, and you'll see why. I usually do 3 on one side, maybe 2 on the other, maybe 3 on both sides. You just kind of got to feel it out, and whatever you like, do. All right, grinder time. So super careful with this tool if you're going to use it. You could probably do this with a Dremel as well. It'll just take a little bit longer. You could do this with hand chisels, right? I'm just not very good at hand chisels yet. One day I will be because I do love chisels. But I'm just going to take this free form and just kind of make what would be what a row of shingles would be shaped like. Then we're going to do some vertical lines as well to kind of give us that shingled look at the end of the day. Then we're going to sand it, round it out, and we're almost there. All right, so once you have your horizontal lines done in, what you're going to want to do is put some nice little vertical lines in. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. These are fun birdhouses. Imperfections make them look great. Looks pretty neat, huh? And actually, the little burn marks kind of give it a nice little look here. And now I'm going to sand it off up top. But you don't have to, again. You can, if you like the rough look of that, just totally keep it like that. All right, so now we're going to do some squirrel protection here. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut out a donut here. So I'm going to take another piece of wood and I'm going to do an 1.25 inch hole, same size as here. And then if you have a large, like 3-inch bit, you can just drill that out as well. I don't, so I'm going to mark it and I'm going to cut it with my bandsaw. Now, one of these days, I will make a jig for my bandsaw that cuts perfect circles. But in the meantime, I'm free-handed it. Then I'm just going to give it a nice sanding, round out the edges, and we'll have some squirrel protection. So we've got our little donut on there, which adds to the depth of it, which helps prevent from a lot of creatures getting their grubby little hands in there. Now, squirrels can still chew open the hole to get to bird eggs. So what I like to do is I like to put a copper ring on. Something else you can do, make life a little bit simpler, is you can buy squirrel protectors like these. I've got a link in the description as I do with everything. And instead of putting this little donut on there, you can just put this directly onto there. They look nice. I just tend to like how the copper rings look a little bit more. I've got my copper plate here. I buy this in bigger rolls that are like 6 inches by 20 feet or something like that. They're not cheap. Links in the description. You can get much smaller pieces at most hobby stores, stuff like that. I just use a lot of this. So what I'm going to do is take a junk piece of board, just like this guy, and attach it down with a couple of brad nails. And then I'm going to take my 1.25 inch drill bit, bore a hole in the middle, and then I'm going to take my 2.25 drill bit, which is used for door handles, many people have them, and drill that, and then we're going to have this nice ring. I'm also going to put another board on top of this just to help prevent from lots of burring and stuff like that. All right, and if all goes well, you should have a nice hot copper ring. And then all you can do here is you can sand down some of those burrs or edges or take a Dremel to it. And I like my Dremel bits. This is just a stone grinder bit. It just makes quick work of getting those burrs out. Okay, and then just take a few nails. I like little brass nails. I like how they complement the copper. All right, there we go. Squirrel protector is fully on. Now, at this point, I'm going to give it another sanding. I'm going to round out all these edges out here, just finish it up a little bit. Then I'm going to fill in the nail holes, and I'm going to put tung oil on it. All right, just give it a quick little sand here where I filled in the nail holes, and then it's time for the best part of the whole project. All right, here we go. All set, all tongue oiled up, eye hooks put in top, chain put on top. And again, link in the description for pretty much everything that I use here. Now, this is for birds on the smaller side, right? Wrens, chickadees. If you want to be able to do a birdhouse that'll host larger birds, that's why I put together this video. This one, you can put a much larger hole in, and it's a much larger footprint too. And that one you can bling out as much as you want.